What's up guys, this is Miasin. So this is not going to be an OCG metagame breakdown, but rather something that I usually don't do. So we're going to be going over a bunch of deck lists and also what happened at YCS Japan Osaka, but also go over the finals match. And by match, I'm really just talking about one duel because in case you didn't know, it is the best out of one, so no side deck. And there are 25 minutes per round, by the way, so it's not like 45 minutes. So if you look at all the replays from the YCS, they're all super short and it makes sense. But yeah, I'm not gonna waste any more of your time. Let's get right into it as soon as you smash the like and subscribe button. Okay, so it happened last weekend. Oh, actually, it's just one day. What? No, hold on a second. It's supposed to be 2 days. 8 rounds of Swiss and then top 64. Yeah, that's still like 13, 14 rounds or something like that. Anyways, the YCS was won by Razio, but the match is gonna be so interesting that, oh man, we're gonna be looking at that very soon. And then Inai got second place with Labyrinth, so nicely done, by the way. A lot of Raziel in the top 16, but not even that many. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, only 9 out of 16. That's like over 50%, but I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, 56%. Whatever, 56, 60%. Like, obviously it's tier 0, but like, who cares? It's a cool deck, and obviously in top 64, there had to be like even more. And I don't know if this you can really call like Raziel, but whatever, who cares? It's still a Raziel deck, I guess, kind of, not really. But it plays Raziel cards, there you go. Alright, so the first place deck list was Raziel, of course, and very interesting decision of main decking Nibiru. I mean, main decking, I guess, like just playing Nibiru, because again, there's no side deck, so I really wonder why. And also Zeus in the extra deck, which we are not really seeing anymore in the OCG. 3 duo drives still, as well as the Dugaris, and then no rank 5 Seraph, obviously, because you can't really search Artifact Landscape. I mean, you can, but is it really worth it in a best out of 1? I'm not 100% sure. No Abyss Dweller, obviously, because you're never really trying to blind it. And then we're seeing every single consistency card being maxed out. So 3, 3, 3, and then 3, 3, 1. That's 16 1-card starters, so super consistent deck. 1 field spell, 1 plugin, 1 hole thruster, no desires. And yeah, how many hand traps is that? 3, 6, 9, 12, 14... 17, 20 hand traps. Oh my god, okay, this is slowly but surely turning into Tenpai Dragon 2.0. That is absolutely crazy. I cannot wait to get my hands on Raziel, by the way. It's gonna be such a fun and different format, just because, you know, the pace of the game is gonna slow down to a point where, you know, you lose the dice roll, you don't cry about it, and you go first, and you still have to grind it out and, you know, put some actual effort. But kudos to everybody who actually kind of figured out how to really handle the Raziel mirror match, or really just play Raziel to like its fullest, because this deck obviously is a cookie cutter. It's very simplistic and minimalistic, but still, there are some weird lines that you can, not really lines necessarily, but interactions that you have to master in order to really make this deck feel better than what it really is. Anyways, Labyrinth, okay, so that was the second place. And this is not a furniture build, because obviously, I mean, yes, I guess, if you can really call it furniture, but not really. I mean, it's a semi-furniture, but we're seeing a lot of hand traps, like a huge amount. 3, 5, 6, 7, 10, 13. 13 hand traps in a trap-heavy deck is not something that you see every day. So the thing about the Labyrinth deck is that I remember when it all started out as a trap-heavy deck with literally just 2, 3 lady, 1 lovely, and then 36 whatever trap cards. Now the deck is very different, because I mean, obviously we started seeing the furniture build, and also now we're seeing kind of like hybrids between furniture and trap heavy. And sometimes it's not even that, it's like trap heavy but with no furniture, but you're still playing hand traps, or sometimes you're playing spells, or I don't know. And sometimes you're seeing like runic cards and like the Equation Cannon. Equation Cannon is very bad into Raziel, because this deck does not commit a lot to the board, and it always has follow-up. So it's not a really good idea. By the way, I really don't understand why Dominus Impulse was being played in this deck, because it is terrible against Raziel. Every summon is inherent. So other than negating the Ice effect, the special summon from deck, the Note effect to revive back, or the plugin, there is literally nothing that you can negate with Impulse. And yeah, also seeing 3 pots, so all the good pot cards being maxed out. Very interesting. Again, 3 Chaos Angel, 3 Typhon. Not my first time seeing this, but obviously when you play Extravagance, you kind of have to. And yeah, no, hold on a second. Why Omega? Oh yeah, I guess for Gamma and Driver, well, yes, or Delta even. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Tenpai Dragon got 3rd. Wow, okay. I think that's gonna be like really good news for players in the TCG when Chandra is gonna get limited, because this card has to get limited. Otherwise, Tenpai Dragon is gonna overshadow Raziel completely. Like, there's no reason to play like not full power Raziel if you can still play full power Tenpai. Like, Tenpai is currently tier 0, I want to say, in the TCG. It's just that people don't really understand how to play it correctly. But yeah, this deck is the nuts. It's really unfair. 6 Molchamis in the main deck, 2 Maxis. That is insane. And main deck 3 Droplet and 3 Ultimate Slayer. What the frick? And Gold Sark with Blaster. That is a concoction. Yeah, but it's not even like that spicy necessarily. But the extra deck, I guess, a lot of cool cards. Yeah, you can send your Synchros, you can send your Trap Brigade, and your Garura, your Aggregator. So yeah, you can cover Fusion, Synchro, Xyz, and Link. That's really nice. Raziel Voices Voice. Not my first time seeing this or hearing about it, but it's just a deck that doesn't lose too much to D-Bearer, because if you get D-Bearer for Xyz, then you just start Ritual Summoning. And you can at least get the Omni Negate from the Skull Guardian. So it's really nice, it looks really fun, and the fact that it got 4th out of 4,000 players, you know, it kind of speaks volume on how legitimate hybrid strategies with the Raziel engine could really work in the TCG as well, potentially. We're also seeing Artifact Lancia in the main deck. There has to be a reason, right? There just has to be. I'm just not seeing it, but you can't search it with anything. There's no Dagda, there's no 7 Tachyon. So how are you search? It's a Light Fairy. You can only search like Light Dragon Ritual or like Light Warrior Ritual with this. So it doesn't work with that. How are you searching Lancia? If someone can tell me, I would really appreciate it, but there has to be a way. Maybe. Otherwise, it wouldn't be like a one-of in his deck. Maybe it's just a one-of hand shop just because it's a good card. But even then, the card is, it's a silver bullet, as we like to say. So it's like very good against certain matchups and literally useless against others, like against Raziel. This card just sits in your hand and doing, it does jack shit. So yeah, I'm not sure. Anyways, Raziel, speaking of the devil, this deck is everywhere, and this is a board breaker heavy kind of deck list, so it's still very interesting. It's not like that many hand traps. As a matter of fact, there's no Imperm, which you usually see right after Ash and Maxi. This is like bare bones minimalistic. 3 Ash, 2 Maxi, that's it, that's all. No Molchamis, nothing. And also, it's a board breaker version without Droplet, which again, I'm just kind of confused, because if you're playing board breakers, then to me, Droplet seems like one of the best ones. But no, Ultimate Slayer instead, which I can respect. The card is remarkably good against in the mirror match. I want to say, if anything, Ultimate Slayer is the best board breaker in the mirror match. Book of Eclipse is a close second. We're seeing also 1 Talent, 1 Lightning Storm, 1 Crossout. I don't know. Maybe it's better than I think, and also obviously evenly matched, which is, you know, quite clearly an extremely good card. Solemn Judgment main deck and Summon Limit, because again, this deck is very grindy. So going second, you just go board breaker, board breaker, board breaker, and then you go set a bunch of monsters, and then summon a bunch of monsters, and then set a bunch of back row, and then you flip Summon Limit, and then you win. And then you control the tempo of the game that way. So if you're playing Floodgates, and you're playing trap cards, if you're playing trap cards, you might as well play board breakers over hand traps, because that's the way that you can win going second. Even when you draw your trap cards going second, they're not just good going first, they're also good going second, because we have seen this also in Kashtira Snake Eyes, where people were main decking a bunch of Kashtiras and board breakers. Well, Kashtiras almost behave like board breakers in the Kashtira Snake Eye deck, as well as actual floodgates like Skill Drain main deck. Well, yes, Skill Drain main deck, and sometimes even like other floodgates. Anyways, Raziel again, a hybrid between hand traps and kind of like board breakers, because we're seeing Droplet, but that's about it. Another Raziel deck, but this is super standard, super boring. Tenpai Dragon, nothing too interesting here. I mean, it's kind of like the same thing as the other one, but yeah, it's a lot of Tenpai Dragon. Runic, I want to vomit when I look at this, so I'm just gonna skip. Raziel, another whatever boring deck list. Raziel again with a Black Goat Laughs. That's about it for, I guess, the spice. 1 Thrust, 1 Ultimate Slayer, a lot of one-ofs. Okay, this is the spiciest deck so far, and I will be making a bunch of videos on this, but this is the freaking goo and a half. So I don't think a lot of players in the TCG are aware of the existence of this deck so far, but it is White Forest Azamina Snake Eye, an extremely good deck, and I've seen it perform with my own eyes. So I've seen replays of people popping off with this deck, and my god, the amount of things that are completely crazy that you can do in that deck is just, man, it's mind-blowing. The ceiling level of this deck is also completely absurd, and it can still fit in a lot of non-engine cards. So we're seeing 3, 6, 8, 10, 12, I guess 15, 18 non-engine cards in a 42 card deck. And we're still seeing a decent amount of starters. So Witch, Snake Eye Ash, Pop, Sylvie, I guess you can say, LZ, a Stellar. A Stellar is like a one-off just because like you don't necessarily want to draw it, but if you draw it, it doesn't make your combo worse. As a matter of fact, it just allows you to skip a step because you have a lot of discard outlets. And then the Azamina LZ, that is not a starter, but it's a very good engine requirement card. And then we're also seeing the Deception, the Wanted, and the Bonfire. Teal is not a one-card combo, but almost in a way, kind of. It's hard to explain, but yeah, super cool deck and very enjoyable. There's so many options. It really just feels like you're playing a puzzle every single time you're playing this deck. Anyways, the next deck is also very interesting. It's Magistus or Magistus Raziel. It's not that spicy when you think about it because your Magistus monsters, they don't really do anything like out of the ordinary. It's just like, okay, you discard your Magistus Spoon or something, you search your Zorora, and then normal summon, equip your Artemis, and then Artemis effect search level 4 extender, whatever, I think. And then Zorora effect revives back your Spoon, and then you make Duo Drive, you search 2 Raziel cards, and then you basically Raziel combo because 2 level 4 monsters is a full Raziel combo in a way, kind of. It's not necessarily better than pure Raziel. As a matter of fact, I don't even think it has an edge. So yeah, it's an adorable engine and I will probably cover it in a video because I think even like the Magistus deck itself has a lot of potential. It's just a nice the cards are just nice overall. Anyways, Raziel, again, this is the last deck list from top 16 and it's relatively spicy because again, this is a best out of 1. And we're seeing Artifact Sanctum, Scythe, and Lancia being main decked, but no Artifact Dagda and no... is there the rank 5? Yeah, there is the rank 5. So you can't search your Scythe and your Lancia, but I'm not seeing Tornado Dragon. So if you... Yeah, okay, so yeah, instead of Tornado Dragon destroying your Scythe, you're trying to rely on Detonator to destroy your Scythe. Okay, sure, so that makes sense. But yeah, that's it for the deck list. Now let's get into the finals match from the YCS. Alrighty, so this is the finals, Labyrinth versus Raziel. Let's get right into it, I guess. So they're doing rock, paper, scissors to figure out who's going first. And I believe Raziel won the... I was gonna say the dice roll, the rock, paper, scissors. It's actually funny when you think about it because it's not even like true RNG. There's a lot of reflexes in it, but I guess you can say the dice roll might also not be RNG because it depends on the way you roll it and the weight of the dice and like the geometry of like your hand. And no, okay, so stop the bullshit. Anyways, first action X pitch the aggregator, which is interesting. We usually see Duo Drive. That is met by an Imperm. Usually I would hold my Imperm for the Duo Drive, but sometimes there is a merit to like hand trapping the first thing that you see because you put your opponent on guard like, okay, do you have the extender or not? This deck plays like freaking 16 starters. And even if you stop like the X here, your opponent could go like normal summon Molchemy and then make Duo Drive and then you're screwed. So honestly, I don't think imperming the small monsters ever makes sense. You usually want to hold your hand traps for like the big guys, the big Xyz monsters. So maybe this Imperm was like a little incorrect. It is the kind of thing that you only really do when you're desperate. And by the way, this video is sped up 2x. I don't know why the quality doesn't really look like the best. This is like 1080p, so I'm a little confused. Maybe it's my fault. Maybe it's just because my computer sucks. Anyways, normal summon Ice, summon the Thought searches. I'm not 100% sure. And then activate the Arius. Arius is going to be setting a trap from the hand. If this is a Karma Cannon, it would be pretty damn broken. Let's see what it is. And he is going to be setting... Come on, just set it. I want to see it. Come on, let's go. That is a trap check. Okay, so that's basically Karma Cannon. It's basically any trap card that you want. And that is going to be banishing most likely Karma Cannon in this situation. I can't really think of like anything else, especially since we have seen it as deck list. So there's no like random needle sealing that can only be used when your opponent has like 3 monsters or more. Actually, needle sealing is like 4 or more, so it's super hard to use. But the card is actually kind of nice. I do remember when like Paleozoic was playing it, something like that. But yeah, Karma Cannon flips everything face down and he's down to 2 cards in hand. This is going to be really rough because Labyrinth and he has a lot of cards in hand, and also, I mean, obviously you're trying to set a bunch of back row going second, and it doesn't have the highest of ceiling, so yeah, sure, you were able to like set a bunch of monsters, but can you run over them and prevent your opponent from doing the same thing again next turn? That's what really bothers me with the Labyrinth deck. It just doesn't have like a super high ceiling, obviously, because it's a trap heavy deck. It takes sometimes too much time to like start controlling the tempo of the game. But yeah, Prosperity, banish 6 cards, and that is going to be resolving? Yes, he's thinking for a long time. Yeah, I was like, maybe you're gonna Ash this, or maybe you're gonna hold your Ash for like one of the welcome or big welcome Labyrinth shop cards. Because again, this is 2x speed. It was taking maybe like 30 seconds to think here. Anyways, draw for turn. I don't even think he needs to draw anything relevant here because he can just flip his monsters, make a rank 4. The opponent has most likely like a Lady or Lovely in hand, something like that, and a trap card face down. So I have no idea how just a 1 trap and 1 monster could be enough to survive through like an onslaught of so many monsters. But to be fair, trap trick into potentially something like D-Bearer could be really broken here. Like, very good. Yeah, there we go. You stall 1 full turn. And Lady here is insane because you can summon Lady and then use your D-Bearer calling Xyz, and then your Lady sets a trap card that is going to be maybe like a welcome or a big welcome, or even a trap trick so that you can get whatever you want next turn depending on what you top deck. that is definitely what he needs to get because he can't go for like any more interruptions at this point. And that is gonna be able to like change the tide of the game completely because he was always under pressure so far, but now he's gonna be putting his opponents under pressure because if he summons Lovely, then he can start looping the D-Bear over and over again, and this is where the Labyrinth deck absolutely cannot lose. But yeah, he's gonna be setting the Welcome, changes his mind, he's gonna be going for something else. It's maybe gonna be Big Welcome? I don't know, yeah, because Big Welcome just feels a little better. Okay, no, it's gonna be Trap Trick. There he goes, that was the other option. There is absolutely nothing else that you can set, at least. The Raziel player is gonna be taking a long-ass time to think. Remember, by the way, that there is a 25-minute limit to, you know, the amount of time that you get to play for your round. And yeah, he's gonna be setting a monster, which is obviously a Molchami, because if it was a Raziel monster, you keep it in your hand so that you can benefit off of it. I mean, you can normal summon it and then use, like, its Stratos effect. And yeah, the fact that it's a face-down monster tells that it's a level 4 monster that doesn't have an effect, and the only monsters that are like that are the Molchami monsters. So yeah, put the lady in attack, and that is going to be attacking over the X, and he's going to be taking... Oh, wow, 2,500... Wait, oh yeah, no, he flipped that in attack. Oh, that is insane. Yeah, he's going to be taking 25. Maybe the correct move was not to flip the X, but rather flip the Ice, because then you take less damage, and you have a bigger booty monster in defense. So yeah, that might have been like a very small misplay. Same as like imperming the X, I think, like from the Labyrinth player. So yeah, these like two plays are like the only ones so far that I kind of really just like disagree with. But again, maybe I'm missing something. Maybe like the context is different. Maybe like the pressure also from like being in feature match, being in the finals. I can respect it. Anyways, Big Welcome gets ashed. That is actually very good for the Labyrinth player because he can revive back the Arius. And that is 1,500 attack, and I'm pretty sure it can run over Ice, and then the lady can run over Toad. So yeah, that's a big deal. You see, if the X was face down, it would have it has 2,000 defense, Arius has 1,500 attack, it would have been able to survive. Pass turn, and yeah, without Lovely to loop back the D-Bearer, maybe the Raziel deck might make a comeback, maybe. But yeah, the card on the right corner behind the Arius is a Karma Cannon, and the other one is an unknown. We have no idea what it is. So hopefully the Karma Cannon is going to be enough here. So yeah, first action, flip the Molchami Furos. Are you really going to allow that? Because if you can make a Detonator, then you can start beating the board. You can go Detonator, crash on the lady, and there's... I mean, it's kind of hard to beat, honestly. I'm not gonna lie. So he's gonna go Big Welcome, Graveyard Effect, bounce back, obviously the Molchami, otherwise you go, okay, sure, special summon back the Toad, get a search, and then, yeah, that literally doesn't affect you whatsoever. But he still has his normal summon, so you can just go normal summon the Molchami again, still proceed to making a rank 4. So does it even matter all that much? I'm not sure. And yeah, he really has a choice. Do I let this resolve or do I not? He might get baited, but think about it. Like, does he have a Raziel card in hand? Because that's really what matters the most. If he has, like, literally any Raziel card in hand, you're really gonna regret it if you Karma Cannon now. But then again, you could still Karma Cannon now, and if your opponent doesn't have a Raziel card, the game ends on the spot, so you can just gamble it. But he chooses not to Karma Cannon and let his opponent summon a Detonator. And my issue with that is that at this point, I feel like the Karma Cannon doesn't do much of anything anymore. Because if you Karma Cannon now, your opponent chains Detonator, destroy your... Well, actually, yeah, it doesn't even do that much. Yeah, you can even, like, Karma Cannon even, like, either right now or at the start of the battle phase. But that is going to be getting back at the Aggregator. I mean, it's not, like, that bad. Okay, sure, whatever. Battle phase, I think. Yeah, you have to go battle phase, attack over the lady. There's no other option because lady has 3k attack. Detonator has 3k, but it can protect itself from destruction by detaching material. It can protect itself for any other Xyz monster. It's actually a crazy card. So yeah, battle phase attack. Yeah, exactly. There we go. He's doing the motion. You could Karma Cannon, and then he's gonna chain Detonator, destroy the other back row. And at the very least, you get back a trap with the lady. Oh, yeah, but then, no, you don't, because, yeah, that is going to be chained directly to the trap. Labyrinth has a very bad Raziel matchup when I think about it. Detonator, I mean, it's not even the Raziel deck itself, it's just Detonator. Detonator is a problem, because the field spell doesn't affect you, Hole Thruster doesn't do much against you, Plug-in, it's irrelevant, because you're not even playing board breakers like Book of Eclipse and stuff like that. But, geez, I mean, I guess Karma Cannon is basically Book of Eclipse, but you get what I'm trying to say. Detonator is... super annoying to deal with, and yes, it will the attack will go through. So lady dies, and then he's probably just gonna pass turn there. He didn't even have another Raziel card, so yeah, he should have probably just preemptively Karma Cannoned, then sure, you can flip the Toad, but it doesn't do anything. It doesn't have an effect on summon, just on normal or special summon, not on flip summon as well. And yeah, just put the RES in defense and pass turn. See, he had nothing. He literally had no way. Oh my god, that is insane. That's really unfortunate because I think the Razor player now is probably gonna win just with this detonator. So yeah, he's really just making a comeback out of nowhere. Yeah, attack over RES. RES will die because, you know, detonator 3k attack, RES 2500 defense. I really don't see how there's a hidden way of like surviving this and like maybe, I don't know, maybe he can top deck like in the future, but yeah, no, the RES will die. Oh, you can actually chain RES to like set a trap from hand, but then the detonator is going to be going after the back row. I really hate this. It's so freaking annoying. Okay, sure, he's just going to pass turn. So again, no Razor cards in his hand because otherwise he at least would have tried a little bit. And yeah, the Labyrinth player is going to pass turn right away. So he drew another monster that he cannot use. Maybe like a hand trap, maybe like a Gamma or a Driver or something. Because again, he does main deck those cards. Gamma, Driver, Delta. So yeah, attacks for 3k. So he goes from 8 to 5k. And time is getting close because this is 21st minute. So yeah, they're 20 minutes into their own one and only game. So yeah, 5 minutes into time. And he is going to be... Okay, you really have to deal at least 500 damage in order to tie it up. But if you can deal like 600, that would be insane. So normal summon the Ariana. That is going to be able to search any Labyrinth card from deck to hand. It's not that relevant, but yeah, I'm assuming that the Razor player has all of the hand traps in the world in his hand. And he does play Nibiru and Molchimi Furos, which are completely useless. But apart from that, he does have Ogre, Imperm, Maxi, Ash. He already used Ash twice, so very low likelihood of still having Ash. If you respond to the Ariana, you can revive back the Arius and then make a Chaos Angel. So are you really going to allow that? Oh, okay, sure. So you will respond to the Ariana and try to destroy the Karma Cannon. And he will most likely not chain. Yeah, he will chain. Yeah, exactly. He will chain the Arius instead. Is he going to chain the Karma Cannon too? I don't know if you should do that. I don't think you should because then, yeah, exactly. He doesn't. He lets it resolve because otherwise the issue is that you're going to be booking your own Ariana, which is kind of neg. So yeah, he sets the Welcome Labyrinth that, oh, hold on a second. He searches it and then he's going to be tributing the Arias to set the Welcome Labyrinth most likely from his hand so he can use it right away. And then that could be setting like that could be summoning something. And he's going to be chaining the detonator to the Arias effect in order to try to go over the final back row. I have no idea. I don't even think this achieves anything actually. Let's see. Okay, so he does set the Welcome Labyrinth. He doesn't use detonator, so he changes his mind. Wait, hold on. I don't even think it matters anymore. And then he uses Welcome and he chains the detonator to destroy the Ariana. He can't respond with, oh my god, okay, so he imperms that. But yeah, that hurts. That absolutely hurts. Okay, yeah, sure. So the Welcome resolves and he can summon Lady, Lovely, or another Arius. And then, yeah, okay, so he summons another Arius, so obviously he's trying to make Chaos Angel, banish the detonator, attack for 35. And it should be time, so if he can just deal damage, then the game is over. But if he gets hit by Veiler, then he loses. He can't get hit by Imperm, obviously. So yeah, it's Veiler or Ogre. But Ghost Ogre here is like the worst case scenario because it's not going to be a tie, since Veiler at least, like, you deal 500 damage, so it's going to be 5k life points. And then it's going to be like sudden death or something. But if he Ogres here, you gotta be kidding me. So that's how he did it. Okay, so he Ogres the Chaos Angel. Chaos Angel banishes Detonator, but it dies in the process. He is unable to push through. He cannot deal damage. And the Raziel wins in time. This is what I'm seeing so far, but he's passing turn. Okay, yeah, sure. If he's passing turn, then he didn't have anything else at this point. So yeah, that was a beautiful match to look at. I really liked it. Anyways, you guys let me know if you're looking forward to the OCG format when we're going to be getting it in the TCG in the comment section below. And I'll see you guys very soon. Peace.